Greetings, math fans. All right, so this is day one of chapter 7a, and what we're going to talk about today is talking about powers. So basically exponents, so it's operating with powers. And you guys have seen some of this already, so that's why there's a little remember here. We have seen 3x before. And remember guys, if it's 3x, that means if I tell you what's x plus x plus x, this guy right here, x plus x plus x. Well, if you have three of them, don't you? That means it's 3x. It's like saying 1 plus 1 plus 1. It's 3. So 1x plus 1x plus 1x means I have 3 x's. Or if I hand you an x, then I hand you another x, and I hand you another x, how many x's do you have? You have 3 x's. Okay? All right, and then the next one is exponential expression, x cubed. So basically, if you have x times x times x, kind of like saying 2 times 2 times 2, isn't that the same thing as 2 cubed, right? And so x times x times x is x cubed. Okay? So we're going to start talking about where you are going to be multiplying these variables together with exponents, and you're going to be raising them to a power. We're actually doing a lot of different stuff in this chapter, but today is strictly on multiplying and raising a power to a power. So here's the deal, math fans. You have 5 squared. And do you guys agree 5 squared is the same thing as saying 5 times 5? And 5 to the 4th power is the same thing as saying 5 times 5 times 5 times 5, right? 4 of those. So now what do you have? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's really 5 to the 6th power. All right, now I know you can put this in your calculator and you can figure it out, but we're going to kind of wait a little bit. I just want to kind of have you understand what all those terms mean. 5 squared times 5 to the 4th. Okay, so this next one, do you guys agree, is just 2. So there's only a 2 here, and then it's 2 to the 6th. So that's 6 of these. Well, how many do I have total now? 7. So it's 2 to the 7th power. So really, okay, well, it's not, I'm going to put a 1 here because I want you guys to recognize that. See that 2 to the 1? It's really 2 to the 1, not just 2, okay? Which is, like I said, the same thing. Okay, the next one is b to the 4th times b to the 8th. So here it is, b to the 4th, and here's b to the 8th. Well, how many do I have here? If you count them up, I have 12. b to the 12th. Okay, so that's interesting. Just look at what we did here, math fans. This is 5 squared times 5 to the 4th is 5 to the 6th. 2 to the 1st times 2 to the 6th, 2 to the 7th. b to the 4th times b to the 8th, b to the 12th. So what's going on with the exponents when I multiply them together? You guys should see we are adding exponents. Okay, and that's only if the base is the same. And what do I mean by the base? If you have 5 squared, 5 is the base, 2 is the exponent. Okay, so again, 5 is your base and 2 is your exponent. Okay. So D says let's look for general property, and that's what basically what I did. It's like if you look at this one, it's maybe a little bit hard to see here, but it's b to the r times b to the 5th power. It's kind of hard to see that. Okay, and so what you're going to do, it's b. The answer is b, and then you add the exponents. So I'm going to put r plus 5. That actually could be an s. It doesn't matter. You add the exponents together. Okay, so that is exactly what I did. Describe the general pattern. So if you multiply same bases together, then add the exponents. Okay? And again, well, I should say here, when you add the exponents, you keep the same base then. It's really important. Keep the same base. Okay, so let's do an example here. Right? It says write each expression as a single power. So that's 5 to the, well, 3 plus 6, so it's 5 to the 9th. Pretty easy. Okay, this is n to the 5 plus 4th, which is n to the 9th. This one's 4, same base, so 3 plus 8, so it's 4 to the 11th. Pretty easy, right, guys? Okay, so let's talk about power to a power now. That's a little bit different. So when I say power to a power, that's like this. The first one is 5 to the 4th power raised to the 2nd power. It's different than saying 5 to the 4th times 5 to the 2nd. So I want you guys to understand, if I say x squared, do you guys agree I write that twice, x times x? Everyone okay with that? So 5 squared is 5 times 5. Well, let's look at our first example. It's 5 to the 4th squared. So isn't it the same thing as saying 5 to the 4th times 5 to the 4th, because I'm writing it, basically I'm squaring it, so I'm writing it twice. And that's kind of what I wanted to get at here, guys. 5 to the 4th squared is 5 to the 4th times 5 to the 4th. So here it is. 5 to the 4th times 5 to the 4th. Okay, and how many do I have there? Now if I count them, I have 8. So that's equal to 5 to the 8th power. Let's look again. We're looking for kind of a pattern here. The other one, you added the exponents together. This was a little bit different. So what are we doing here? What do you think? Let's look at the next one. 2 cubed to the 5th. That means I write 2 cubed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I wrote it 5 times. So how many 2's do I have? Well, it's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 2 to the 15th. So what do you see what's going on here, math fans? Before I added the exponents, what am I doing now? I'm multiplying. A power to a power, you multiply. And same thing with this one. That's 5 to the 8th power. I multiply. So what is this one going to give us? M squared to the 4th? It's going to give us M to the 8th. 2 times 4. And you can see 2, 4, 6, 8. So there are 8 M's there. Okay, so it's M to the 8th. So basically, this general expression here, M A to the B, basically is M and A times B. Okay? And again, it says describe the general pattern summarized in part D using your own words. So back to this guy, we said multiply same bases together, then add exponents. This is basically saying a power, it's a power to a power. So if I had x some power to some power, you multiply these together. So you multiply exponents together. Okay, that's a power to a power. So let's take a look at this next one here, number 1. It's 4 to the 4th to the 3rd power. So it's 4 to the 4 times 3, so it's 4 to the 12th. Pretty easy. So what's this one? This one is n to the 4 times 5, so it's n to the 20th. All right, and what's the next one is a to the 7 times 5, or a to the 35th power. Very easy, very, very easy. Okay, but again, notice the difference between these two types of problems. This is a power to a power, and this is the one up top here was multiplying terms together. Okay, so here's some helpful tips. Put ones in for missing exponents. So if I had like x times x to the 5th, it's a good idea to do this. You put a 1 in here, because otherwise you don't really know what to multiply together. You know, and truly you don't know what your exponents to add. So this is a common mistake, is people see an x times x to the 5th, they think there's a 0 there, but it's not. It's a 1, because x to the 1 is x. Okay, so that means the answer to this problem is going to be x to the 1 plus 5, or x to the 6th. Okay, the next thing, it says look for exponents outside of the parentheses and do those first. So we're going to get to problems like this where you have something on the outside, so x to the 5th, and it's to the 8th power, and you always do this 5 times 8 is 40. So I'm not, they're saying look for exponents outside the parentheses. We're going to do this as we get closer to a couple examples here. I'll show you what I mean by this, okay? And bases are the numbers that work out and combine. Again, it's a little confusing, but if you have 2 to the 5th times 2 to the 6th, basically you can combine these together because they have the same bases. So that's 2 to the 11th. Ooh, that's our district 211. Okay? Okay, so let's do some problems here, practice problems. Again, these are really, really easy, guys, so you guys should go through these pretty fast. I'm gonna add those together, so it's x to the 10th. 3 plus 7 is 10. X to the 12th. Gah. X to the 19th. Pretty easy. Now this is one where I should put a 1 here, so my answer is x to the 6th. I add those together. All right, these are a power to a power, so what do? You multiply. You multiply the exponents. So it's x to the 24th. This is a to the 60th. This is a to the 28th power. This is it's really a 1 here, so 1 times 8 is 8, so b to the 8th power. Okay, that's not bad. So now you got a couple terms to multiply, and what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the same bases together and the numbers together. Guys, we treat numbers just like we've done since first grade. Okay, you're basically going to say 3 times 2, that gives you 6, and then what's x to the 5th times x to the 2nd? It's x to the 7th. What's y to the 3rd times y to the 8th? It's y to the 11th, and that's your answer. Okay, so again, you combine bases together. So this next one is a to the 10th times a to the 3rd is a to the 13th. B to the 4th times b to the 15th is b to the 19th. Okay, this one I'm going to put a 1 here. So x to the 1st times x to the 3rd, x to the 4th. Y to the 8th times y to the 7th is y to the 15th. Not bad, right? Pretty easy. A couple more here. So put a 1 here and a 1 here. So m to the 1 plus 10, m to the 11th, n to the 24th. All right, there's a squared on the outside of this one. So what you're going to do here is you're basically going to square each term. So it's 3 squared. If it's in parentheses, every term gets affected by that squared. That is really important. So that squared affects the 3, the x cubed, and the y to the 5th. It's so important. So 3, I'm going to kind of show a little bit of work here. 3 squared, x cubed squared, and y to the 5th squared. See how I kept it in parentheses like that too? I think it's important because if you take it out of the parentheses, I think it's easy, very, very easy to get confused. So now let's just do it. Okay, again, that squared affected every term in there. So 3 squared is 9, x cubed squared. Well, you multiply x to the 6th, y to the 5th squared, y to the 10th, and that's your answer. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing. Negative 2 cubed, x squared cubed, y to the 7th cubed. Okay, if you put negative 2 cubed in your calculator, just to do that, you put it in parentheses. I don't have a calculator sitting here right now, but you put that in there and you get negative 8. X squared cubed is x to the 6th. Y to the 7th cubed is y to the 21st. That's it. Okay? A couple more examples here. So again, I'm going to separate this. This is negative 2 to the 4th power, a to the 5th to the 4th power, b to the 1st to the 4th power. So you're putting that in your calculator, and guys, you need parentheses, because if you don't put parentheses in there, you're going to actually get the wrong answer. You would get positive, or we're supposed to get positive 16. If you didn't put the parentheses in there, you would get negative 16. So negative 2 to the 4th power, and I think I showed you how to do that in class. It's actually negative 2 in parentheses, little up arrow to the 4th power. And if you do that, you should get 16. Okay, and then the rest of it's easy. You multiply a to the 20th, b to the 4th. It's 1 times 4. And that's it. It's your answer. Okay, not bad. This next one, I'm going to separate each one. A to the 6th to the 5th power, b to the 10th to the 5th power. Okay, so I multiply those exponents. A to the 30th, b to the 50th. Pretty easy, math fans. All right. This one, there's no exponents here, so I'm just going to multiply the x's together, I'm going to multiply the y's together, and I'm going to multiply the z's together. So 4 plus 6, that's x to the 10th, 2 plus 3, y to the 5th, and 7 plus 12, z to the 19th power. And that's your answer. Okay, it's not bad. Really isn't bad at all. Okay, so this one, I'm going to split it up again. So it's a squared cubed, b to the 6th cubed, and c to the 5th cubed. Power to a power, so it's a to the 6th, b to the 18th, c to the 15th. That's it. Okay, 19, this one's an easy one. Same base, so it's 2 to the 2 plus 5, 2 to the 7th. All right, and again, if you would put a number like that in your calculator, 2 to the 7th, which again, you're going to actually type in your calculator, 2 and a little up arrow to the 7th. You don't need parentheses here, there's no negative sign, okay, and if you do that, you will get 128. You guys should know how to do that. It's important. Try it on your calculator. See if you get 128. If you get anything different, you didn't push the right button. Okay, this is called a caret. You spell it like a carrot. Okay. All right, the next one. 3 to the 4 plus 2 is 6. Okay, and if I put it in my calculator again, I get 729. Okay. And I believe, yep, that's it, math fans. So again, it's just kind of learning that if you're raising it to a power, let me just do one quick little demo. If it's x to the 5th raised to the 7th, that's multiplication x to the 5 times 7, or x to the 35th. If it's x to the 5th times x to the 7th, that's addition. So 5 plus 7, so it's x to the 12th power. Okay, so those are the two things we kind of learned. A couple different ways to attack it, but that's what the deal is, all right? That's it, math fans. Hope you guys learned a little bit about exponents. Have a great day. Adios. Goodbye.